new day, new turns and emails for War for America. And boy, I'll tell you, talk about a change of pace. Usually you hear the humming of my little space heater down here because I like to keep it a little cool for the dog most of the house because he's always got a fur coat on. So I like to keep it about 69, but no humming there. If you hear any humming, it's with the outside central air conditioning unit on. We got 70-something degrees. I think it's supposed to get 80 degrees today. So yeah, no heater noise today. It's air conditioning time. I can't believe we got the air conditioner on in February, but it is what it is. And then tomorrow's supposed to snow, so there you go. We'll have the heater back on then. But we're eager to start with this Colonial, or rather my Action Pulse versus my opponent. And I have won the initiative with my die roll, and we're looking to see if we can go against. We can try to win this game again. Give it another try in Quebec. For this time, we got the Army of the North because it is a new day and a new way. So we will roll for, who is it up there? I got in charge. It's Gates. He is a 5. So we will hit the old die roll button on Vassal and tell you what his initiative roll is. We'll be right back. All right, we get it with a 3. And we will, he can have his full complement of 4 movement points. We're going to go 1, 2, and move right on in there with Quebec. We'll give this another shot, see if adding some die roll modifiers and such helps. It'll still be a little dog's attack. I don't know how much more I want to wear my forces on down. Now there's another deal that kicks in. The old British got their loyalist. We could muster our militias, but militias can't go into Canada. Militias are real strict on their regions and colonies, home colonies that they can move through. So there you go. Not much going on that front. Let me see what I want to do with this battle. I'll be right back. We got to do all kinds of things on a computer and convert them here, so we'll be right back. All right, and there we are. 7 strength points versus 9. The only difference is now we are an army. And as an army, we're allowed to lay siege. Won't be able to do it right now. But our next turn, we'll roll for old Gates' activation. If he passes it, we'll put a siege marker on there. That'll take care of the Colonial Action Pulse. We've laid siege to Quebec. Montreal is on freaking garrison. So there you go. Choose your poison. We'll be right back. Alright, well, now that the Army of the North is preparing for a siege, they ain't sieged yet. The English have rolled, and they have rolled for Clinton's activation and failed. So he gets 2 movement factors. But with those 2 movement factors, he is moving by water and moving both of his factors into Choice Rivera's, whatever. So there you go. Old Clinton making the move up here. And my opponent wants to know if my units here are now effectively blocked from a line of communication, which I think the Army of the North is. So he cut me off from my key. Okay, let's see what's up. I don't see any other supplies except for Ticonderoga or any place else. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. So we'll see what kind of effect that has. That will take care of the British Action Pulse, though. And that'll take care of our 2 Action Pulses. Now, if it was any year besides 1776, there'd be a bunch of stuff to do during the winter. You take your 2 Action Pulses, and then you carry on with your winter maintenance. Let me see here. I'll show you. There you go. Each player first positions his available magazine. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong ones. After both players have moved their 2 action rounds, like I just said, Colonials check for colonial attrition. That doesn't start till 77, I think. Both sides check for quartering. That don't start till 77. Both sides remove all magazines. We haven't used any, so there's no use in removing them. 6 nations aren't in there yet. And British withdrawal is not in no effect, so I think what we're going to end up doing is just getting ready for the, let me see, check for victory, advance a turn marker, seasonal marker to the next box, and that'll be early spring of 1776, and I believe there are a bunch. The game starts turning now. There are a bunch. English king, I don't know who the king was, King George or something back then, but yeah, he was. He's turning it up. So here they come. And you can see, I don't see any reinforcements coming for the, maybe I got that colonial reinforcement chart wrong, but I thought I looked at that. I don't see diddly. I think they're going to be depending on their militias. Oh, let me see here. Raise militia time. I haven't sent my turn in. I was just going to say I'm about to, well, it was the British turn, so I can't do that yet. So starting up my turn next turn, I can raise militias. I didn't do it this turn, so I'll do it next turn. It really has no effect yet. So, because like I said, they can't cross into Canada. They got real strict limits on their movement in the colonies, from colony to colony and region to region. So we'll take care of that. Let me take care of all the maintenance and go ahead and forward this all up to my opponent via email. We'll be back. All right, we're carrying on with our spring house cleaning on War for America, and me and my opponent both declined to put any real magazines up right now. Number one, you gotta have strength points there, and number two, I don't have. Me personally, I don't need the spots to put them in right. You know, it'd be up north. You can see right there, I have no units up north at all, and any spot that would be captured by the enemy. So, and maybe he thought the same thing, but then again, he's on a spot where he don't have many spots for magazines either, whereas he have permanent units. We are moving on to the Continental Levy Table. So it'll be the colonies' wartime and war responsibilities include getting drafted. We were just looking at the Continental Reinforcement chart and thinking, where am I going to get my strength points from? Well, here is your answer right here. We get Continental levies every spring. So there you go. It's under British control. Well, we do have a colony under British control, so that's going to have an effect right there on the New Hampshire and Massachusetts die roll. So there you go. 2 to 6, they're not too hip about the idea. And 7 to 12, they're gung-ho and ready to join the winning team. So there you go. Let me go through this off camera, and we will show you what all the die rolls are. Going to be a lot of die rolls in this one, so we'll be back. All right, little note on my Continental Levy procedure. Because this colony's been capped, New Hampshire, and the key space, the only key space in that colony is with a garrison on it. I will not be able to bring or to place any Continentals in New Hampshire because it is taken over now. For New Hampshire, Massachusetts, I rolled a low roll of a 6. Instead of getting 8 strength points, I only get 4. We'll put them all right here in Massachusetts, right here in Northfield. Ready to maybe head on up there north. That's what we're doing with the Massachusetts strength point. They weren't too hip. They're in New Hampshire / Massachusetts. The minimum was 4, the maximum was 8 if they were gung-ho. But like I said, none of them are going into, let me see if I can outlaw it, this little area here. See the yellow line coming on down to right here, comes on over. That little spot there is taking over a key spot. You know, it's only got one key spot in Norwich, but that means no Continentals for you. And Massachusetts just raised 4. And you can see on this table here the roll for Continental levies, for the Continental draft. There's one roll takes care of both of those colonies, so that's why we did it that way. We'll be back with more Continental levies. The call's on. Gather the forces, fight the British. We'll be back. All right, then, we are done with the Continental levy. And some places were more generous than others, according to their die roll, of course. But here you go, back on the board. We've added some They had to be placed in key spots, which was fine, but there you go. After the levy, this is the results on the board. We can do this every spring. And of course, New Hampshire had none because the key spaces was covered. Now we still have our siege going on. At Quebec, we'll start the spring off with the siege going on there. Now, if he's attacked by anybody, the siege is off. But we still haven't brought in any reinforcements. We're looking around here for units we can bring on up there and try to get that still within our grasp as a game victory if we can get Montreal and Quebec. We'll see what goes on after that. And it's also about getting that political will down. We do have some cards that we were dealt to us, and here we are. This was a result of the spring. Ain't too bad. I like this. There you go. I like this one. I've had this card during our learn through. It could be a good card to play right off the bat. Definitely. So we'll see what happens there. And he has his 3 cards. So unlike last game, though, we don't know what cards they are. And we'll have to get them from the deck. That'll be it, I think, for the spring. Oh, let me look and see. We have done everything for reinforcements. Did the colonial player rolls on the CLT chart. We did that. So now I think we're ready to roll for the initiative on the spring turn. Let me see here. Let me see. British player can tell blah 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 blah. Both players place their reinforcements. Let me check out the spring. I guess before we do that, yeah, we need to get our reinforcements. We can't forget reinforcements. I'll be right back. All right, then. Spring reinforcements have us removing Gage from the board. So Gage is gone, and he was in charge of the Royal Army. So that could have been a real bitch. But it says that you promote Howell. So luckily, Howell was with him and just got promoted. So boy, you can't make this stuff up. There you go. Howell's now in charge. That definitely worked out for the British player. Transfer Burgoyne and Clinton, whatever that means. So there you go. That's a transfer. It says here to transfer them on the reinforcement table, but it also says you can transfer them. Yeah, so I don't know how that works. We just transfer them willy-nilly. So add Cornwallis. 2 rank. Okay, we'll be adding him. Parker Squadron. 3 strength points. Fraser, 5 strength points. For Diesel, 5 strength points. To Quebec, even in colonial control. Deploy magazines. Oh, we got all kinds of British reinforcements. Let me see how my opponent wishes to deal with all this. We'll be right back with reinforcements coming in for the spring. Both players. We'll be right back. All right, after all the spring, early spring rather, housekeeping, I think we're ready to go. I have redistributed my leaders. I had to take off Montgomery. He was taken off the game. What is going on here? They said transfer Burgoyne and Clinton, but I really don't know what that means. So my opponent said that he will keep them where they're at. I gave him the conundrum about what my interpretation of the rules are, and since I've played the game, he says this is going with my interpretation. So yeah, it says transfer them. I don't know if that's mandatory or what, but now the British did transfer some leaders. So what do we have here? Or was it just I transferred a bunch of my leaders here. Putnam. There you go. On down here we have Washington here with a 4 strength pointer. My plan is to pull him up here and start grabbing some strength points. As soon as he gets that 5th strength point, he can get himself his Washington's army created. There you go. Just Schuyler down here. My main strategy is going to try to still get to either Quebec and Montreal for a quick game win. If not, if that turns out to be unachievable, we will try to get a couple of their armies to surrender, and then there's other ways. But now, let me zoom in. The key will be the initial initiative winner. Initial initiative winner, yeah, because if the British get it, the win, these units here go straight to Quebec, even if occupied. So he'll get some reinforcements. We'll see how we have to handle that. It's under siege right now, or it hasn't been under siege yet. It was about to. They're preparing for siege, and I'm about ready to put them under siege in this turn. So if the British win the initiative, it'll be real curious to see how the game mechanic goes along with that. We'll be right back with the all-important initiative die roll after I check with my opponent, check with Vassal, make sure we're ready to have game on. We're back.